Don't forget to subscribe History in Pixels. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more videos like this one. Miran Dejo, the invulnerable man, was born in the Netherlands in 1912 and became famous for astonishing the medical community by piercing his body with all kinds of objects seemingly without injury. Dejo achieved international fame in the 1940s for his seemingly supernatural ability to pierce his body with various objects including swords and large needles without suffering wounds, bleeding, or pain. The medical community, initially skeptical, was baffled by Dejo's abilities. He was subjected to a series of X-rays and other examinations while objects passed through his body, confirming that there was no trick or illusion in his performances. Miran Dejo is remembered as a mysterious and enigmatic figure, a man who defied the boundaries of the possible and left a lasting legacy of curiosity and admiration. Johnny Eck, the Half-Man, was born in 1911 in Baltimore, Maryland, and was an actor and horror artist who was born without the lower half of his torso. Despite his condition, Johnny did not let this stop him from living an extraordinary life. He became a renowned performer known for his impressive acrobatics and charismatic presence. Johnny was also a talented painter, musician, and filmmaker. His fame grew when he starred in the film Freaks in 1932, showcasing his skills and proving that he was more than just a unique physical appearance. He challenged society's ideas about what it means to be normal and was an inspiration to everyone he met. Johnny Eck is remembered as an iconic figure of Curiosity shows, a true example of resilience and talent. Martin Lorello, known as the Owl Man, possessed an extraordinary and unique ability. He could turn his head 180 degrees. This rare and surprising skill allowed him to look directly behind without moving the rest of his body. Lorello fascinated audiences, challenging the public's understanding and leaving everyone amazed with his unusual talent. His ability was not a simple trick, but the result of years of training and a unique physical condition that allowed him to dislocate vertebrae without causing damage. He performed in variety shows and circuses, where he was often the center of attention. Lorello was born in Germany and immigrated to the United States, where he continued to dazzle audiences with his incredible ability. He is remembered as one of the most iconic and enigmatic figures of Curiosity shows, a true symbol of determination and human fascination. Alice Elizabeth Doherty, known as the Werewolf Girl, was born on March 14, 1887 in Minneapolis, Minnesota, United States. Her story is as unique as it is rare, as Alice became known due to an extremely uncommon genetic condition called hypertrichosis lanuginosa, which caused her to be born with a thick layer of soft hair known as lanugo covering her entire body. From a young age, Alice attracted the attention of everyone around her, and her parents decided to display her condition in Curiosity shows. Despite the exposure, Alice lived a relatively normal life surrounded by the love and care of her family. Her unique appearance made her a popular attraction in the circuses of the time, where she was advertised as the Werewolf Girl. Alice is remembered not only for her rare condition but also for the dignity with which she lived her life, turning her difference into a means to support her family and delight the public. Myrtle Corbin, the four-legged girl from Texas, was born in 1868 and entered the horror show circuit at age 13 and was considered the four-legged girl from Texas. From a very young age, Myrtle captured the public's attention for an extraordinarily unique characteristic. She was born with dipygus, a rare condition that gave her an additional set of smaller legs belonging to a parasitic twin that did not fully develop. This earned her the nickname Four-Legged Girl from Texas. Although she was born in Tennessee, most of her life and career were spent in Texas, where she performed in circuses and Curiosity shows. Myrtle lived a relatively long life for her time, living to the age of 59. Pascal Pinion, better known as the Two-Headed Mexican, was a Mexican railroad worker who caught the attention of a Curiosity show promoter due to a large cyst or tumor on top of his head. To enhance the visual appeal and curiosity of the public, a facial prosthesis was created to resemble a second face, complete with makeup to highlight facial features such as eyes, nose, and mouth. Pinion, despite the exploitative nature of these exhibitions, also managed to support his family with the earnings from these performances. He traveled throughout North America, where his displays attracted large crowds. Pascal Pignon is remembered as a tragic yet fascinating figure of the circuses of the time. Pauline Musters, known as the world's smallest woman, was born in the Netherlands in 1876. Throughout her short life, which extended until 1895, she reached a maximum height of only 58 centimeters, a fact that catapulted her to worldwide fame. Her extraordinarily small stature made her a celebrity in the circles of curiosity shows of the time, allowing her to travel the world and perform before fascinated audiences. Pauline became a beloved figure to many, not only for her height, but also for her charm and vibrant personality. She performed in variety shows where she captivated audiences with her presence and performances. Pauline Musters is remembered as one of the most iconic figures of curiosity shows, a woman who turned her small stature into a great career. Unfortunately, she died of pneumonia and meningitis in 1895 at just 19 years old. Prince Randian, the human serpent. Get ready to have your mind blown with the incredible story of Prince Randian, also known as the human serpent. Born in 1871 in British Guiana, he faced a great obstacle from the start. He was born without arms and legs. But did that stop him? Not at all. Prince Randian had some impressive skills. Despite his physical limitations, he was as agile as a cat and as strong as a bull. Using only his torso and head, he could move like no one else. He could roll cigarettes, light them, and even shave using only his mouth. Randian became a superstar in freak shows in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. He joined Barnum's Circus, where, sliding like a serpent, he charmed and amazed crowds. Prince Randian was not just a performer. He was a symbol of courage and resilience, showing the world that physical limitations cannot stop someone from achieving great feats. Chong and Ung Bunker were the first known and most famous conjoined twins, born on May 11, 1811 in Samut Songkhram, Thailand, then known as Siam. They were joined at the sternum with their livers fused. The twins moved to the United States in 1829 and gained fame performing in circuses and fairs. In their performances, they conducted a variety of acts intended to showcase their unique condition and impressed the audience. They frequently displayed to the public how they were physically joined at the sternum, which in itself was a significant attraction. To demonstrate their ability to live a relatively normal life, they performed everyday tasks together such as walking, running, and completing simple chores, showing how they managed to coordinate their movements despite being joined. Chong and were never separated throughout their lives, but this did not prevent them from finding love, getting married, and even starting their own families. They set a world record for the most children born to conjoined twins, with a total of 21 children between them. Chong and Eng became household names and amassed a fortune while traveling across the United States. Felix the Elastic Man, Felix Werley, born in Wisconsin, USA in 1858, discovered early on that he possessed impressive abilities. Imagine being able to stretch your skin like sticky chewing gum. That was exactly what Felix could do. But it gets even stranger. Felix could bend his limbs completely backward without breaking a sweat. It's like having a superpower that defies the laws of human anatomy. He took his show on the road, dazzling audiences in museums and impressing crowds in circus performances like the famous Ringling Brothers Circus. Specialists speculated that Felix might have had Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, a condition characterized by weak connective tissue, resulting in skin that stretches like elastic and extremely loose joints. Felix is remembered as a fascinating figure in curiosity shows, a man who turned his condition into a means of entertaining and demonstrating to the public the extraordinary capabilities of the human body. Schlitzie, the star of freaks, was born in 1901 and was a sideshow performer known for his condition called microcephaly, which gave him a small head and some intellectual challenges to face throughout his life. But this did not stop him from living life to the fullest. Schlitzie was a natural performer and found his calling in the world of sideshows. With his infectious laugh and playful personality, he became an instant success. Whether singing, dancing, or telling jokes, people couldn't resist his captivating charm. Schlitzie really took off when he appeared in the film Freaks in 1932, playing himself. He showed the world his unique spirit and taught us a valuable lesson about acceptance. General Tom Thumb, the Little Big Talent, whose real name was Charles Stratton, was born in 1838 and was only 63 centimeters tall. He was discovered by P.T. Barnum when he was just 4 years old. Before they knew it, he became the main attraction at Barnum's American Museum in New York City. But Tom Thumb was not just a cute little mascot. He could sing, dance, act, and even imitate historical figures, being a true one-person show. Tom Thumb took his show to Europe, where he mingled with royalty, including Queen Victoria. He became a household name, with his face emblazoned on everything from trading cards to teacups. He proved that size doesn't matter when it comes to talent and charisma. General Tom Thumb is remembered as one of the most iconic figures of 19th century entertainment, a true pioneer who paved the way for future generations of performers. Edward Mordrake, the man with two faces, was born into a wealthy and noble English family in the 19th century and was cursed with a second face on the back of his head. Yes, you heard that right. A face that supposedly whispered to him at night, uttering repulsive and disturbing thoughts. Desperate to rid himself of this curse, Edward sought help from numerous doctors and spiritualists, but no one could provide a solution. He eventually sank into a deep state of despair and madness, reportedly taking his own life at a young age. The legend of Edward Mordrake lives on today as a haunting story that defies medical understanding and popular imagination. Edward is remembered as a tragic figure whose life was marked by a medical mystery that continues to intrigue and fascinate. Despite this, the story of Edward Mordrake is considered an urban legend, as there is no concrete medical or historical evidence to prove his existence. Cuckoo, born in 1880 in Georgia, had a condition called Seckle syndrome, also known as bird-headed dwarfism. The syndrome gave Cuckoo her unique features: a small head, a beak-like nose, and a recessed jaw. Despite her limitations, Cuckoo was a true star, captivating the stage with her cheerful voice and charming personality. She became the talk of the town wherever she went, delighting audiences with her charm and talent. In her performances, Minnie often wore a bird-like costume, including feathers and a tiara with a plume, which reinforced her nickname, Bird Girl. Her performances included eccentric dances and movements that mimicked those of a bird, and she often flapped and moved her arms as if they were wings. She participated in freak shows and circuses, including the famous 1932 film Freaks directed by Todd Browning, where she had a notable role. Frank Lentini, the three-legged man, Francesco Frank Lentini, born in 1889 in Syracuse, Sicily, was a performer who was born with a third leg protruding from the right side of his body due to a congenital defect. Lentini did not let this unique feature hold him back. Instead, he turned it into an opportunity to educate and entertain others. At the age of 8, his family moved to Connecticut, USA, where Lentini quickly became a main attraction in the circus and various carnival shows. He often joked that compared to others, he needed to eat 15% more to feed the extra leg. In his performances, Frank Lentini used his unique condition to entertain and impress the audience. He demonstrated extraordinary skills such as jumping rope and kicking soccer balls with his third leg. Besides these activities, he also shared his personal story, explaining how he learned to live with his condition and how he found acceptance and success in the circus world. Ella Harper, better known as the Camel Girl, was born in 1870 with a rare orthopedic condition called genu recurvatum, which caused her knees to bend backward, allowing her to move more easily on all fours. Ella became a popular attraction in circuses and freak shows in the 1880s, entering the world of Curiosities shows at the age of 9 under the guidance of showman W.H. Harris. She became a sensation, and people from all over the world gathered to see this girl with camel knees showcase her impressive abilities, delighting crowds with her unique movements. She was featured on posters and advertisements promoting her unique skills, often describing her as a marvel of nature. Despite her popularity in the entertainment world, she left the circus career in 1886 to seek an education and a quieter life. Little is known about her life after leaving the shows, but records indicate that she married and lived a relatively quiet life. Annie Jones, the bearded lady, was born in 1865 in Virginia, United States, and began to show signs of hypertrichosis, a condition characterized by excessive hair growth, at a very young age. Her beard began to develop when she was just 5 years old. Annie was discovered by P.T. Barnum, one of the most famous entertainment promoters of the time, who included her in his famous Curiosities show at Barnum's American Museum in New York. Annie quickly became one of the museum's most popular attractions, charming the public with her unique appearance and charismatic personality. She was frequently presented as the bearded lady. Fannie Mills, the big-footed woman, was born in Ohio in the 1850s and suffered from a condition known as Milroy disease, a form of congenital lymphedema that caused massive swelling primarily in her legs and feet. This condition made her feet reach extraordinary dimensions, measuring an impressive 50 centimeters in length and 20 centimeters in width. She was often advertised as the big-footed woman, and her condition attracted much curiosity and fascination. Fannie turned her unique condition into a career in curiosity shows, where she performed in circuses and dime museums. The demand for her performances skyrocketed, and she managed to earn significant amounts of money from her shows, allowing her to support herself and her family. Fannie died in 1899 at the age of 39. The exact causes of her death are not clearly documented, but her lymphedema may have contributed to health complications throughout her life. George and Willie Muse, the Martian ambassadors, born black and albino in Virginia at the end of the 19th century, brothers George and Willie Muse were kidnapped from their community in 1899. The brothers were taken from their mother, Harriet Muse, and ended up being hired under circumstances that would now be considered coercion and exploitation by a freak show. Due to their unique appearance caused by albinism, they were promoted as Eco and Eco, the Martian ambassadors, among other exotic and invented titles which distanced them from their true identities and heritage. Despite the hardships and exploitation of having to work for several years in circuses, George and Willie became popular figures in curiosity shows, demonstrating resilience and musical talent. They were eventually rescued by their mother, leading to a legal battle for their freedom. Lionel, the lion-faced man, was born in 1890 in Poland and became known as the lion-faced man due to his condition of hypertrichosis, which gave him a lush lion's mane all over his face and body. At just 4 years old, he was sold to a German circus owner who saw the potential in his unique appearance. Lionel became one of the most popular attractions in curiosity shows, captivating audiences with his fierce appearance and gentle nature. He mingled with high society and challenged society's narrow definitions of beauty, proving that true charm comes in all shapes and sizes. In his performances, Lionel used his unique appearance to create a captivating and fascinating character. He often told his life story, explaining how his condition led him to enter the world of sideshow entertainment. In addition to simply displaying his appearance, Lionel performed acrobatic tricks and feats of strength, showing that his physical condition did not prevent him from being a skilled performer. Lionel was one of the main attractions of many renowned circuses, including the Barnum and Bailey Circus, where he was a popular and admired figure. He traveled extensively across Europe and America, gaining international fame. Lionel spoke several languages and was known for his intelligence and charisma, which made him even more fascinating to the public. Grady Stiles, the Lobster Boy, better known as Lobster Boy, was born in 1937 with a rare condition called ectrodactyly, which gave him lobster claw-like hands and feet. Grady began performing at a young age, following in the footsteps of his father, who also had ectrodactyly. He became a popular figure in circuses, using his claw-like hands to perform tricks and manipulate objects in unique ways. Despite his fame and success as a performer, Grady Stiles' personal life was marked by tragedy and controversy. He was known for his abusive and violent behavior, especially when drunk. In 1978, Grady was convicted of murder after shooting and killing his daughter's fiancé on the eve of their wedding. Due to his physical condition, he received a light sentence and was placed on probation. In 1992, Grady Stiles was murdered by a hitman hired by his wife, Mary Teresa, and his son in retaliation for the years of abuse they had suffered. Grady Stiles' story is one of the darkest and most complex in the world of sideshows, showing a tragic side of life behind the curtains.